Hey everyone, I'm Melanie from Streamline Legal, where we help law firms get the most out of their practice management software. Tonight, I'm coming to you with a bit of a public service announcement. I know from my own personal experience that a lot of times it can be very hard asking people for money. And what I find is a lot of times attorneys will want to do their own consultations and they will be sitting there in the consultation. And as they're trying to talk to their clients about their fees and about the money that their client is about to spend, they start self sabotaging. And that can be a really difficult situation to be in. And again, I only know this because I've been in that situation. I still, on occasion, am in that situation. And it's just not an easy thing for a lot of us to talk about. And so I wanted to remind you guys tonight that there is no law, there is no requirement that you, as the law firm owner or as the attorney, be the person that talks to the client about money, about payment. It is very possible for you to have somebody else on your team do this on your behalf and on the firm's behalf. In fact, I would encourage you to do that if you are someone that struggles with this part of the consultation or this part of the conversation. I would encourage you to think about somebody else on your team that maybe doesn't have those same kind of concerns, doesn't have the same kind of hangups that maybe we do sometimes about asking people for money or asking to have our services paid for. And so I want to just remind you that there's no judgment. There's no, I've been there, I've done that. I really want to encourage you to have somebody else, if this is a difficult conversation for you or part of the conversation, have somebody else take this over. And so, if you're, by the way, I'm not talking just about a non attorney salesperson. If you're not interested in hiring somebody just to do sales that's not an attorney, you'd rather do the consultations yourself, that's perfectly fine. I do, though, want you to think about handing off that consultation when you get to that part of the conversation. It is very easy to do, whether the consultation is via phone or Zoom or in person. It's very easy to get to the end of the conversation where you're talking about the representation that you can provide and all the wonderful things that you guys are able to do for your client. And then, very professionally, hand the conversation off to another team member and say, I'm going to transfer you over to Susan. She's going to give you all the details about payment and payment terms so that you guys can come to an agreement or something along the lines of that, something along those lines. Now, keep in mind, this handoff can be done via phone. It can be done via, Zoom. It can be done if you're in person. It's very easy to do, and it allows this other person on your team to be much more comfortable with the conversation and not sabotage the sale when they're in the consultation. And so I want you to start thinking today, if this is a conversation that's hard for you, I want you to start thinking today about who on your existing team fits this bill. Who would be much more comfortable having this conversation with a client than you? And frankly, you might not have anybody on your team currently that's in that situation, but that's okay. The next time you go to hire, or if you're thinking of hiring soon, I would definitely keep this feature in mind, keep this consideration in mind so that the next person that you hire, maybe that person can be someone who is comfortable having this conversation and can have this on your behalf and on behalf of the law firm. Because again, there's no rule or law that says that you have to be the one having this conversation. And I would highly, highly suggest, just as you do with other things within your firm, if this is not a strength of yours, make sure to give this to someone else whose strength it is. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope this is helpful to you. I hope that you're able to make these kind of decisions to help your law firm grow. Have a great evening.